Greetings, Webslingers, for a Carck-a-Pack for Pick 2 Spider-Man. This is Andre Desjardins, and how we believe this works is, well, we know it works that you open the pack and you choose 2 cards at a time. The pods are 4 people as opposed to 8, and if what's happening on Arena is to be believed, flick to get them in the right order. You only play 2 games as opposed to 3. So I'm going to do this is I'm going to go talk about each card, and then at the end I'm going to do what I would do for my pick 2 and talk about some pick 2 strats. Alright, so the first card up. Oh, and the other thing about this format is it is allied colors. You should be playing allied colors. Alright. So we have Gallant Citizen. It's Celestia Hybrid for a 1/1. When this creature enters, draw a card. He's obviously going on a spaceship, and he's going to end up in Bloomburrow and become Pawn Prophet, which is absolutely fine. This card is like a C+, B-, strongly looking to get it. The green-white mechanic is web slinging. So that you can return a tapped creature to its hand to cast it. Normal rules apply. I think almost all of them are sorcery, so I did get to attack with this guy once and return him, and that felt so good. But it is tapped, so like if you're crewing something or help of supported parents, you get to do this. But just a 1/1 for 2 that draws a card is a very C+ playable card itself. Alright, we'll move them over here. News Helicopter, 3 colorless mana for an artifact creature construct. Flying when this creature enters, create a 1/1 green-white citizen human token. So again, this looks like a target to me for the web slinging deck. And it really is. Probably below Gallant Citizen though, just because Gallant Citizen's good by itself. This is probably for the amount of spiders in this set, there isn't that much reach, but there's some. So probably C- below Gallant Citizen, but I would still consider it. Right, Kapow is... I'm seeing a lot of these cards new from the pre-release. I haven't seen them at the pre-release, I should say. 1 green, 2 colorless. Kapow is a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It fights a creature an opponent controls. Good green fight spell. The +1/+1 counter. Very relevant. Most fight spells now give a toughness boost, and this is the toughness boost needed. Blue-white has a modified theme, so it's not in the modified theme, but +1/+1 counter is never a bad thing. C+, definitely happily put this in my deck. Oh boy, City Pigeon. 1 white flying, when this creature leaves the battlefield, create a food token. Probably the premium web slinging enabling card. C+ here. Yeah, like when it leaves. So web slinging, you return the tapped creature to your hand, so you get a food every time it leaves. But just the fact you can for sure attack with a flyer turn 2, turn 3 is good. And the other thing I want to note is there's a 1/1 flyers themselves don't do enough generally. The reason this is good because it enables web slinging, or if you can get a +1/+1 counter on it, or modified in some other way, it's good. So this is also in the modified theme. Bagel and Schmear goes really good with this card. If you're not planning to return it, you just get to make a turn 1 City Pigeon, turn 2 2/2 flyer draw card. So C+. Look, wow, this pack's fire. Whoosh! Or Into the Royal, or there's another version of it, but it's 1 blue, 1 colorless instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand with a kicker of blue and a colorless. If the spell was kicked, draw a card. You're probably going to want to kick it 90% of the time, but the 10% you don't kick it, you're getting a card's worth of value out of anyway. So B- for Whoosh. Wow, this pack. Alright. We're coming down a little, but still a fine card. Common Crook. 1 black, 1 colorless for a 2/2 human rogue villain. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. There's the villain theme. There's not really a sack theme, but a 2/2 villain that dies and you get whatever loot he's carrying is fine. It's a C. Taxi Driver is 1 red, 1 colorless for a 3/1, 1 mana tap. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. This is like a D+. You put it in your deck if you want to, but you're not really going to consider it. It doesn't really do much. A lot of these times, these creatures just have tap, not one in tap. So, yeah, we're not going to consider him over all these great cards. Mechanical Mobster is 3 colorless. For 2/1, when this creature enters, exile to 1 target card from a graveyard. Target creature's controller connives. So, there is kind of a graveyard kind of matters theme here with Mayhem. There's also some blue-black creatures that you can exile from the graveyard. That's bonus though, because you're really looking at the 2/1 exile up to 1 card, so you always get to a connive trigger. This seems like a very much filler. If you need a Mayhem, which is an updated version of Madness Enabler, he does that. He can help modify creatures, though conniving discarding a spell sometimes hurts. He's like probably D+. You'll sometimes play him to fill a slot in your deck, but you're probably not too thrilled about it. And he's a villain, so yes, he does fit into a lot of filler things, but I don't think he's particularly great glue. Alright, we're into uncommons. 1 green, 1 white for there's lots of legendary creatures. 2/2 legendary creature, Spider Human Hero. During your turn, Spider Girl has flying. Fantastic. And when Spider Girl leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 green, white human creature citizen token. So this is definitely a web-slinging glue type card, where, yeah, it enables it, and then when it leaves, you get a bit of a thing. Probably B- in the web-slinging deck. I'm happy to play 2/2 with flying on my turn. Alright. Sandman's Quicksand is 2 black, 1 colorless, with Mayhem for a black and 3 colorless, and the Mayhem is if you discard it this turn, you can cast from your graveyard for the Mayhem cost. All time restrictions still apply, so you still have to cast sorcery, you still have to cast it on an empty stack when you have priority. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Not great. If this spell's Mayhem cost was paid, creatures your opponent control get -2/-2 instead. Very good. In a Mayhem deck, this is probably a B-, and even in other decks, it can still be like a sideboard B. There are some decks where you're just going to have 3 toughness, like a bunch of 3 toughness creatures, and all these web-slinging enablers are going to have 2 toughness and 1/1 citizen tokens, and Sandman's going to come gobble them all up. Alright, Chameleon, Master of Disguise. A 2/3, you may have it enter as a copy of a creature you control, except it's Chameleon, Master of Disguise. That's so it doesn't legend rule itself. And Mayhem for blue and 2. Blue isn't the normal Mayhem color, but certainly blue-black villains will be adjacent to that, and sometimes you'll get it. This is probably C+, B-. It does have to be creature you control, which is fine. I think a lot of the power in this set was put in creatures, which is a good thing for a Spider-Man set. You want your creatures to be good. Let's put this here. Alright. What do we got? Rare, Mythic. Peter Parker. 1 white, 1 colorless. When he enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach, and he's an 0/1, so you get 2/2 over 2 bodies. And for Bant, green, white, blue, and colorless, you can transform him, activate as a sorcery. He's probably very good on this other side. The Amazing Spider-Man. 4/4 Vigilance Reach. Each legendary spell you cast that's 1 or more colors has web-slinging Bant. Alright, actually less impressive than I thought. Still, probably going to play him in a base web-slinging deck. I don't think there's full 5 color on nonsense here, but I think the blue is very splashable, and I think just having the 2/1 reach on one body and then the ability to make a 4/4 Vig reach on the other body is strong. Probably C+, B- for Peter Parker becoming the Amazing Spider-Man. I don't put too much into the web slinging thing. I mean, it's a nice bonus to have, but I think just being able to pay mana and stats over those two bodies over the time frame is good. Now, because this is transforming modal double face, you can just cast the Amazing Spider-Man at 4 mana for 4/4 Vig Reach, which you'll need sometime. But I think that's worse than getting it over the two bodies. Alright. Foil. We got the Spots Portal. 1 black, 2 colors for an instant. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You lose life unless you control a villain. Kind of a weird removal spell for black, but it's not the worst. Probably C+. Alright, we got Sinister Hideout, which is a completion of the Strixhaven lands. So it enters tapped, has for an ally color, and then for 4 mana you can surveil one. 4 mana is a lot. I got to do it a couple times in the pre-release. It was fine. Normally I take lands very high, but I think the average power level is higher in this format. So probably C, like I certainly played if I was in the villains deck, and a robot token. Alright, so let's lay these out and see what we're thinking of for pick 2. So we're not considering the criminal probably, unless we would bring him back in. So for pick 2, I don't know. Can we see Gallant Citizen? Gallant Citizen's in here too. I'm going to take News Copter out and look at Gallant Citizen. So for pick 2, I would be looking to do either 2 generically good cards in the same color that leaves me open to either archetype, or 2 cards from the same archetype. I'm just looking at the most powerful cards in the deck that do this. If something like was an A, I would definitely take something weaker. But I think under those criteria, if I'm looking for the 2 most powerful cards that can go in either archetype, it is these 2 blue cards. It's Swoosh and Chameleon Master of Disguise. They're good in blue-back villains. They'll be good in blue-white modify, just because they're generically powerful. Also, if you're looking at blue-white modify, you could take those 2 cards if you wanted. I'm probably... The problem with taking these 2, and these 2 are generically powerful, is then you really want to be in blue-black villains, which is also a fine thing. I'm going to go into the web-slinging type category, which leaves these 5 cards. This kind of, on the absolute most amazing big brain, big play level, this might suck, because you might signal your opponent that the web slinging archetype is open when it's not, but I never worry about when I'm passing my opponent. Yeah, your pack 2 might suffer, but it's still probably going to be fine. And they might have just opened 2 like Great Mayhem cards and will have no interest in any of these cards whatsoever. So for this one, I am probably going to take... I think I am going to take Peter Parker. Again, just that the whole package to me seems really good. And if you ever get another way to just tap him and then return him, getting 2 green spiders with reach is good. And then I'm going to go Spider-Girl Legacy Hero and hope to pick up some good web slingers. You don't know, one of these might table to you. I don't know, but that's boring. And I might be wrong. It might be these 2 cards actually you're supposed to take. I don't know. I could, in theory, take like this. Especially like this is a probably good modified theme, but I'm gonna start with some fun legendary Spider-Man cards. I'm assuming they try to make the Spider-Man and villains good. So that's what I'm gonna start with. Alright, comrades, this is Andre Aguides Desjardins signing out.